Today we have a 2003 Ford F150. I'll be doing a complete tune-up. We'll be replacing all spark plugs, cabin filter, air filter, as well as the fuel filter. So let's get to it. All right, also I'm going to start off by replacing the spark plugs. Obviously this is a V8, so there will be a total of 8 spark plugs. This is a 4.6 liter engine, just to specify. We're going to need a number 7 to remove the ignition coils. Just, there'll be 4 on each end, obviously. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just unplug it, and using a number 8, we're going to remove the bolt here and slide it out. These ignition coils are at an angle, so they're pretty easy to come out. And then use the spark plug tool to remove each spark plug, and that's just for the passenger side. So for the driver side, we're going to have some stuff in the way here. We're going to use a number 8, just get the power steering reservoir out the way a little bit, just kind of help us out. Just kind of take it out and just swing it to the side just to get the ignition coil under here. But before I get to that, I'm going to go ahead, since we're replacing the air filter as well, get the air cleaner box out the way. With the flathead or number 8, we're going to go ahead and move this clamp here, open this up, and just completely take it out the way. So I've removed this, or loosened this clamp up here with the number 8. Also, I don't remember if I mentioned, these bolts for the power steering reservoir here is also number 8. But loosen those clamps, remove this clamp here, and pulled it out. So now you can see the air filter here. We'll throw it to the side. We're going to replace it. Just keep in mind that the wires for the airflow meter connect back here. So we're going to go ahead and remove that and just get this out the way completely, giving us a little more room to work in this area. So I'm going to go ahead and start removing the coils on the passenger side and getting those spark plugs out and replacing it. Then we'll come to this side and do that. So I'm over here on the passenger side. I'm going ahead and just removing those 7mm bolts on the ignition coils and just pulling them out. You can really leave them plugged in, just pull them out. However, you might come with an issue like this right here, where the boot gets stuck in there. A pair of ignition coil boot pliers here, pull them out. However, you can also just use normal pliers, just be careful with it. But if it comes out, you pretty much just pop it back in. It only goes in one way. Like I said before, these ignition coils sit at an angle like this, or pretty much this way. So this point here will fit in this little groove right here on there. So just pop them back in, it'll be fine. So I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing, moving each ignition coil, just throw it to the side. You can mark them, take out, unplug them, put them away, or doesn't really matter where the ignition coils go, since we don't have a cylinder misfire here. But I'm going to go ahead and just keep removing these out. Then I'm going to use my spark plug tool and just start pulling out the spark plugs. Alright, y'all, so I just wanted to give y'all a little view of what to do if your boot comes off the coil here. So here it is, the boot's on this end. So this little, like I said earlier, this little notch here will go directly right under this here. So pretty much you're just going to slide it in, get it around that little flare there, and just pop it back into place like so. So now, you're pretty much good. There's also, 2 arrows. You kind of see it, one there and then one right there. Let them line up. So the coil will sit at an angle when you put it in like that. So there you are. And I've gone ahead and also removed all the coil packs on the passenger side. So as you can see, I just left it hanging. I only removed this one just to get out the way. Or actually I removed 2 of them. Just because I had issues with the boot coming off and I wanted to put it back on. Found it a little easier to remove the connectors to the injectors here to get the other 2 in the back. Just squeeze these 2 tabs. You see it kind of spreads open, and just pull it out to get to these bolts. So now, after we get all those out, we're going to go ahead and get the spark plugs out with our little spark plug socket, and then get ready to replace these. Alright, so I've gotten all my spark plugs removed. Obviously I don't show the whole steps just to save y'all some time. I did use a 5/8 spark plug socket here. I'm gonna go back in with FOMOCO spark plugs. If y'all are gonna torque it, I know some people do that. I usually just go by hand. The torque is 13 foot-pounds or about 18 Newton meters. So just go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go ahead with these spark plugs in, and then I'll show you how to get to the next ones on the other side. So I've gone ahead and closed up this side, put my coils in, bolted it all back down. Pretty much done with this side here. Now I'm on this side. I went ahead and just took the 3 number 8s off the power steering reservoir and just put a swing to the side, just because I'll be reaching my arm through here. Kind of helps a little bit. If you want to remove this whole bracket, you're gonna have to remove that number 8 down there, and then I believe 2 at the bottom, or possibly even a larger size. You can remove the 2 from up here, and then I believe there's 2 more directly under here. I'm not entirely sure if it's connected to anything else, but I'm just gonna leave it on for this sake. I'm not too worried about it. It's not really gonna get in my way much. So, but if y'all need the room, figure it out and let me know. It's pretty simple though, I would assume. But the first bolt to the first coil up here, it's gonna be right down here. That's why I'm just gonna leave this alone, just push this out the way, just to give me some room here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and remove that bolt and get this coil out here, and pretty much do the same process all down as we do on the other side. So go ahead and get those out, get these spark plugs removed and replaced quickly, and we can get to doing the actual other stuff that I can do a video on. All right, I also just want to give you a little quick view, basically for the people who are like, oh, we have to remove this. No, you don't. I got the bolt out, the coil is right here, so no. Same thing's gonna do with the spark plug, just go under it. Remove those 2. For this one, the fuel pressure regulator kind of gets in the way, so you need to use a shallow number 7 to get that. And then also wanted to go ahead and show y'all this as well. For the last coil back here, you're gonna need to go right in between the rail, as well as where the fuel line meets the rail. So we can get focus. Sorry, y'all. There you are. So you can get that socket, a deep, an extension, and you'll be able to get that number 7 bolt out to get that coil. So just wanted to show you that real quick, and I'm gonna go ahead and get this done. So I've replaced the last 4 spark plugs on the driver's side now, put everything back together, whatever. You want to comment about how you want to basically watch me turn wrenches and change the spark plug. Take your car to a mechanic, your truck to a mechanic, because obviously if you need to watch someone turn wrenches, you shouldn't be working on your vehicle. So let's go ahead and replace the air filter. So this is the new one, just pop it in. Making sure that all lines up around there. You see it kind of sticking out right here, make sure it's all flush. And then go ahead and reinstall the upper half or the other half of the airbox cleaner, making sure you plug it back in, and then tighten it down with that flathead or number 8. So I'm gonna go ahead and do all that, close this up, and then we're gonna get to the cabin filter now. All right, to get to the cabin filter, we're going to remove this here. There's gonna be a total of 3 number 7 bolts. I already have 2 removed. There's gonna be one located here, here, and then back here. Oh, sorry, back right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove those bolts and get this cover out the way. So now that we remove that cover here, you'll be able to locate the cabin filter, which is gonna be in this area here. You'll see a little groove. So this one has not been replaced before. So you're gonna have to cut along the edges on here with a razor blade, cut all that out along that line, and get ready to install a new one. So I'm going to cut this out and get the new one installed. All right, also I've cut the old piece out that covers the area where the cabin filter goes. So I assume normally that this vehicle would not have it, the factory would not have a cabin filter, because once I cut this out, all you could see inside was pretty much the channel and the evaporator, as well as the blower motor in between. So, or on the other side, sorry. So this would be in between the evaporator and the blower motor. So there is a slot for this to slide in. However, there will be nothing inside. Like I said, I guess during the factory, they did decide not to put a cabin filter in and just cover the hole. But once you cut it out, you pretty much just slide it in. The filter will have an airflow direction. Just keep in mind that the blower motor will be blowing onto the evaporator, so the airflow will be towards us, towards the cabin. So once you do that, you just slide it in, kind of angle it. It took me a minute to get in there, so I didn't get all that in video. I just kind of, once I cut it out, tried to angle it in, and then once I had it in, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna throw it in there. So now I got it in, just slide it in. And there is an O-ring around here, so it keeps it locked in place. As you can see there. Just kind of push it in, make sure it's nice and snug. And then we're gonna go ahead and throw that cover back on, and with our 3 number 7s, close everything up, and let's get to the next step of this tune-up. So now in order to replace the fuel filter, you will have to go under the vehicle on the driver's side, right next to the drive shaft, after the exhaust where it meets the intermediate. It's gonna be right here. You're gonna squeeze this and pull back to get there, or push forward, then squeeze and pull back for that. This one you'll need a disconnect tool like I have in my hand here. Just push this down the lock down like so, and just slide it forward to get it off. So I'm gonna get that out, and then once we get that out, I'll go ahead and replace it. So I apologize for this video, because I kind of did it real quick, so I didn't really get anything because I didn't want a lot of gas leaking out. But I told y'all wrong about this. You don't push this down. You're actually gonna push these two sides in, and like a small pocket screwdriver or a pick, pull this outward, and then once that happens, you just slide it out. And then put a new one in. Make sure you put it with the arrow on the fuel filter going that direction as the fuel pump is pushing that way. And then once this locks in, you're gonna go ahead and put the little lock in there as well. Just slide it in and clip it down like so. So now this is done. Pretty much done everything. So thanks for watching, y'all. Please like, subscribe, more videos to come.